States, Monday if you're in Australia or New Zealand. I am here with my dear friend and colleague, Elizabeth Ocean, aka Elizabeth Beads, or previously known as Elizabeth Beads. Um, I'm really excited to bring you here today, Elizabeth, because I know that there are a lot of people out there, in my tribe at least, that are from corporate transitioning into online, online businesses, the whole online world. And you have 4 keys for us today to really thrive as online transformational mentors. So, for those of you that don't know, let me just introduce Elizabeth because she is amazing. Elizabeth is the CEO of the Women's Holistic Business Academy and has over 30 years of experience as a spiritual business mentor. Those are my words, maybe not hers. She has produced over 1,000 wellness workshops in her career. Oh my God, 1,000. Where were you when I was doing the content for my workshop? Including large scale transformational festivals and conferences. And last year, Elizabeth and her beloved got married. Just the two of them made vows to each other, and she changed her name from Beads to Ocean, which I love. Um, right? And she's a holistic business expert who will show you how to get paid to do what you love, which is at the end of the day, we all want to get paid to do what we love. We want to do what we love. We want to get paid to do what we love. And we want to do it in our pajamas.
Which we get to during these times.
Right. So these 4, how to thrive as an online transformational mentor. First of all, do you have any words of wisdom for the women that are in transition right now? There's a lot of transition going on in the world.
Huge transition over the last couple of years. Siddiqui, first of all, thank you so much for having me in your community, for hosting me on this day. Just so blessed to be here with you and with your incredible community. And we're in a time of transition. I mean, what we've been through over the last couple of years is massive. I've never seen anything like it in all the years that I've been in business. And I've run a yoga studio and a wellness center and published a magazine and done all the events. And I've never seen anything like what we're in right now. And it's been a really intense time. Come to the end of a couple of year pandemic and be in what we're in now. It's just like, how much more can humanity take? So when I think about what we're talking about here, it's like how can we not be in transition? We're in transition. I've seen women in business go through so many transitions over the last couple of years. I have myself. We moved our business from in-person events to completely 100% online. And there was a time when everybody was afraid, like, what's going to happen? And some people peeled out at that time. And here we are 2 years later, transitioning again, just continuing to pivot and to serve in what's needed now. I'm always staying in front of like what's needed now. So
I
women
love
are in
that.
transition. And what the pandemic did, I think it pulled it out of everybody. It was like, what do you really want to be doing? What are you really called to do? What's that feeling of that gift that you want to share with people? And you do this in your work as well. And I think that that's calling women to transition right now. And what we're in right now, the feeling of humanity hurting and suffering, it's like those of us who have that feeling of calling, it's getting louder because our gifts are needed. All of you watching, like, your gifts are needed and your light is needed on the planet. So if you're feeling the transition, I say just lean into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I love that. I'm in a huge transition. We just bought a house. I have 2 puppies here. Maybe I'll wake them up and they'll make an appearance. And there's construction happening. And I transitioned from being a full-time photographer to being a mentor as well. And you're going to give us the 3 keys to thrive as an online transformational mentor. And I would say some of us just need to be in what it is. It might not feel like thriving. I don't exactly feel like I'm thriving right now. However, I also know that because of everything that has been going on in the world and is going on in the world, I can't just sit on the sidelines with all of my gifts and all of my talent and my wisdom and the energy that I have to share, because that's what transforms the world. So
Yeah.
I'm a big I'm a big advocate of women showing up and standing up, speaking up and shining their light, unmuting themselves. And, that's what creates the transformation. So, what do
Yeah.
you see? You have these three keys to thrive. What do you see first, though, as the biggest obstacle to women moving on to this online world and like really thriving in their holistic businesses?
Yeah, this is what is the biggest obstacle? There are so many.
I know.
I'll probably say a couple here. One of the biggest obstacles is something that I went through. Like right now, my business is thriving. I have what I need. I have clients that I love to work with, and that came through a lot of challenges. So one of the biggest challenges I see women in right now is something that I went through, which is overwhelm and burnout. It's another silent pandemic that's going on with women, especially, and it's interesting, especially women in wellness and healing and the giving and serving fields. It's women are burning out. And I experience what that's like, and it's devastating. I never want any woman to have to go through that. And it was during a time that I was doing all the things, working on my yoga studio and wellness center and magazine and events. And I thought that I had to do it all alone. I thought that
Mm.
that's what success looked like. Never ask for help, do it all alone, work 18-hour days, 7 days a week, and just give and give and give until you burn out. Obviously, that wasn't success because it was one of the most challenging, trying times that I ever went through. And then when I speak about it now, I see so many other women saying, yeah, I had that too, or me too, or I'm in it right now. And in the times that we're in right now, women with sensitive hearts, it's heightened even more. So one of the biggest challenges I see is this tendency towards overdoing and overworking. And the keys that I'm going to teach today will help these a bit. So that's one of the challenges. And then the other one is really related to the work that you do, Siddiqui, and it is the feeling of, who am I to do this?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I'm the burnout one. Who am I to do this? Who am I to stand up? What are people going to say? What are people going to think of me? How people are going to judge me? So that's a huge obstacle that I see.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering if we definitely that's a huge obstacle, and that's what I'm feeling called to address right now in the unmute yourself work that I'm doing. But I want to go back to this burnout and overwhelm because I think it's a little like depression.
Yeah.
It can sneak up on you and you keep thinking it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, and then one day you're just completely overcome with it. So what are the early warning signs of burnout and overwhelm that
Oh my
you
goodness.
see in women entrepreneurs? Especially, I'm guessing that your women are like mine; they're unicorns, so
Total
they have a
magical unicorns.
high level of education and
Yeah.
wisdom and knowledge and degrees, and they have this woo side, this holistic side.
Yeah.
And so they are more prone and more sensitive and more empathic
Yeah.
than your average person.
They're
So,
highly
how do they
driven.
know? Highly
Yeah,
driven,
they're
yes.
highly driven, they're very capable, they're multi-passionate and highly creative. So just like me and you find yourself doing a lot of different things with an inability to say no because you're like, I want to help the world. I want to do things that are great. I want to be creative. I want to live my purpose and I want to actually use my talents. So you have that, that A-type, very driven personality, which drives us towards entrepreneurship as well. And some of the things that I noticed for myself were that I was very fatigued. I was tired all the
Mm,
time. I was exhausted to a point where I couldn't actually get out of that. It was
mm,
just like, I couldn't get out of it by sleeping. So I was tired all the time, a lot of cravings for sweet foods. And then I started getting sick all the time. It's like one cold and
mm,
flu after
mm,
another. Like it
mm.
was like one would last a month and then another would come and another would come. And I was just always sick. And that I learned later that those are really classic signs of adrenal burnout because your adrenals protect your immune system. So that was happening, tired all the time. And then I found myself crying every day, like every day,
Mm.
not just PMS
Mhm,
days, but every
mhm.
day. And these were all classic adrenal burnout symptoms. And I was working in wellness, right? So I should have known better, but I didn't even know adrenal burnout was a thing. I just completely ignored it until I looked at all my symptoms, did some research, found myself some great naturopathic doctors, and got myself back on a path to health. So those are some of the classic signs that women might notice. Now, I'm not an adrenal teacher, I'm a business teacher, but I find that it's helpful to know because so many women are experiencing this.
Yeah, well, it's hard to get to a place of transformation if you're in burnout and
Oh
overwhelmed,
yeah. Yeah.
both within yourself and with others. So let's say that we send them to one of our colleagues that works with adrenal fatigue and we get them up and running and with some juice in the engine. What would you say are the keys to then thriving online as a transformational mentor?
Let's do the keys. Everybody's ready to
Let's do the
learn. Let's
keys.
do
Everybody's
these.
ready to learn.
So there
I'm
are
ready to
actually
learn.
4 keys I have for you
There's four
today.
keys.
There are so many. I've got a training next week. I'll tell you more about that, but there are so many things that you can do. And many of these keys, some of you may have heard a little bit before. So you might be like, "Oh, this is interesting. I've heard it, but I'm going to ask you, how are you not doing it yet? How do you need to hold
Mhm.
yourself accountable? Or how can you really turn it up? And what are some pieces you don't yet know?" So these 4 keys are going to help you to grow your following and attract more clients, attract more high quality clients that you love working with. And that's critical as well. You don't just want
Yes.
anybody, but you want those high quality clients and you want to make a transformation for those clients. You want to make a difference for their life. So these keys are going to lead you right down the path for that. So I've got 4 of them for you. Are we ready?
Key number one.
Key number 1, everybody. Key number 1, take a deep breath to this. This is really important because oftentimes with holistic and wellness and sensitive women, we'll pull back and say, I'm just going to wait for my clients to come to me. I'm just going to meditate them into existence. I'm just going to hope and pray that clients will just somehow find me, but I don't want to go online and I don't want to do all the things. But the truth is that doesn't work. So key number 1 is show up. It
Show up.
starts with you
Key number
showing
one is
up.
show up.
Show
Yeah,
up,
I love
everyone.
that.
If you take a step towards your clients, it's like then they get to take a step towards you, and you step towards them and they towards you. And what do your steps look like? People need to know you exist. Siddiqui, you do such beautiful work with this, with getting people online and getting people visible. And it's so important. And this step to show up, even when you're nervous, even if you think you don't know what to say, even if you don't know where to show up, start to email your people, start to do talks in your community or do talks online, interview, get interviewed. How can you show up for your potential future clients in a way that's going to have them find you and recognize you? And that's really the first step to growing a following is show up because people need you, especially in times like we're in right now. People need you to show up.
I love that. Can I just say something about that?
Please do.
I help women entrepreneurs unmute themselves so that they show up. And one of the biggest roadblocks I see is, well, I posted and nobody commented and nobody responded. And we want that instant overnight viral success that we've been sold to as a myth. And honestly, at the end of the day, if you are doing an online business, this is about a long-term strategy. There are no
Long
quick
term.
fixes. And if you are like I was several years ago, a best kept secret, just hiding under a rock, thinking that you can meditate your way to magnetizing people, places, things, and opportunities to you, take a deep breath. It actually doesn't work that way. And even though I'm a visibility mentor, I have to say there are so many days when I 100% don't feel like showing up, don't
Totally.
feel inspired, don't feel motivated. And I do it as a practice, just like working out. Don't feel like going to work
Yeah.
out, but I'm going to go and
Do it
do a little
anyway.
something.
Me
Do it
too.
anyway.
I love
Do
that.
it
I
anyway.
would
So
invite
that's a
everybody
great key.
watching to put in the comments. For everybody watching, put in the comments, what is your greatest fear when it comes to showing up? And Siddiq, you do such beautiful work with us, so I love it. So show up, even when you're nervous,
Show up.
even if you think you don't
Show
have
up.
what it takes, even if you think there are other people online doing it better than you, show up. And I love what you said there, Siddiqui, as well, that it's a long-term strategy. It's not like some quick thing. Anybody in the space right now who you all can see, like, this person is amazing, they have a huge following, it's because they built it over time. I was thinking about this for anything when I started teaching yoga. I was thinking about this earlier. When I started teaching yoga, my mom was at my class, and that was it for like 2 months because I had nobody. And I was like, "Mom, will you come and like I can practice on you?" And then one of my good friends showed up, and it was just the two of them. And then another lady showed up, and eventually I was the most popular teacher in our city with a huge following and full classes every time. But it's because I stuck with it. That happened after a couple of years of showing up every single Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10
Yeah.
a.m., just showing up and showing up. And so you can apply that here. It's the same thing, everyone. Show up for your people, make videos, make emails, reach out to people, call people, do whatever it takes to show up. So that's key number one, show up. Well,
Key
let's
number
move
one,
on.
show up.
Key number two, there is this tendency to think, oh, I should do it this way, or I should do it this way, or I should be like this person, or I should be more like Siddiqui, or I should be more like this person. This is something that your mom told you, or somebody, a parent in your life, and it's so good. Key number two is just be you. Be you 100% of the time. That's the only way it's going to feel authentic to you and good to you. It's the only way you're actually going to be able to continue to do it is if you be you. And you
Mm.
being you magnetizes your ideal clients towards you. And that's how you can grow your following and have more clients is by being you. And isn't that wonderful to
It's
know that
amazing.
that's part of business growth is to be yourself, to be quirky, to say the things you say, to wear the clothes you wear.
Just swear if you're me.
Exactly. If that feels really good to you, don't hold it back because then there's
Right.
there's a misalignment. So key number one is show up. Key number two is be you. Be you 100% of the time. Are you ready for key number three?
We are. We are.
Key number three, stay focused. So there's so many distractions out there in the world. There's so many people to follow and so many different pathways for your business, and it can lead to overwhelm and it can lead you to giving up. How many of you have that? Post the word overwhelm in the comments down below if you're like, there's so
Overwhelm.
much out there. I think it's one of the biggest thing that makes women give up on their businesses and their dreams. It's just like there's too much. But if you stay
Yeah.
focused, it can
Yep.
really help. Like stay
Yep.
focused, one thing at a time. Build
Mm-hmm.
one piece of your business at a time. Focus on one training at a time. Do one thing at a time. Set timers on your phone. Be focused. Don't compare yourself. So be focused is key number three.
Oh, wait, I have something to say about that. So people come to me and they're like, I want to put my videos on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and, LinkedIn. And they're trying to create meaning and purpose on all different platforms. And one of the first things I do when they're in any of my programs is I look at what is the demographic of your key audience, the people you really want to speak
Exactly.
to. Because if you look at the research, every single platform has a different demographic. And you do not need to be all things to all people. You really need to narrow the focus
Exactly.
and keep the needle on the groove on the record of that narrow focus, and you really only need to focus on one platform at a time. And I see the
Exactly.
burnout and the overwhelm coming from thinking, well, what about this and what about this and what about Clubhouse, and there's so many places that
And
we
then you
can
end up
show up for our
stopping.
businesses. Then you end up stopping because eventually it's just too much. So yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah,
Focus,
thanks
as I like
thanks
to
for that,
say.
Siddiqui. It's so true. Focus, focus. Dig one deep well rather than a whole bunch of shallow holes.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
key
mhm.
number three is stay focused.
It's
Key
great.
number four, this is probably one of my favorite one, is that when women are looking at growing their following and getting clients and they look at the online world, they often think to themselves, oh, I have to build a Instagram following of 1 million people and then I'll get clients, or I have to grow my email list to 10,000 and that's where I'll find my clients, or I have to put a podcast and a book and a TED talk and all these things, then I'll find clients. When the truth is that your clients and your foundation of your business is right in front of you. So
Mm,
key number
mm.
four is low hanging fruit. Don't
Low
skip
hanging
over
fruit.
what's right in front of you to build your business. So current clients that you're already working with, people are 16 times more likely to work with you again when they've already worked with you. 16 times. So you have to work 16 times as hard to find new people. So people you already have worked with, like you're working with them now, and then people you've worked with in the past. So there's your pool of potential clients. Those of you who are just getting started, who do you know right now personally who could use your
Yeah.
services? And don't skip over this step, everyone. Your low hanging fruit is so very powerful.
Wow, these are, we should just be doing our trainings together because we have so many similar things to say. This is very, very wise. I think that, again, people are chasing this elusive status, especially in social media and in their businesses, of I'm here to transform thousands of people. And I say, well, only always one person at a time.
Yeah.
So tell me about the work that you are doing with women right now and their businesses. And I know you have an event coming up tomorrow, starting tomorrow, same as mine. But I know that you have a very specific focus. So can you
Yes,
talk to us about the tools that they're going to be getting showing up for your event?
absolutely. Well, I'll start. Yes, thank you. I'll start with telling everyone about my specific focus, which comes from my background in holistic healing and wellness and spirituality and consciousness. So I specifically work with spiritual teachers, wellness
Mm,
coaches, holistic mentors, and transformational leaders. Like that is the area of women that I just adore working with because it's my background for the past 30 years. So I help them to grow their following and find their clients to get online and create thriving businesses, meaning consistent income. I help them to
mm.
find clients that they love working with, especially high quality clients. And I help them to create higher ticket programs that they love being able to put together so that they can really keep doing what they love and make an impact on the planet. So I love these women that I
I
get to
love
work with.
that. I love that.
And usually I'm working with these women behind the scenes in my year-long training
Mhm.
program. So I basically have a year-long waiting list to work with me. And I don't often do public trainings. So this is really special. Starting March 21st, I have a public training coming, and it's a 7-day training. And it's special because it's free. So that's really cool as well. It's called Client Attraction Secrets. And in this
Oh, I
training,
love that.
I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know to find your ideal dream clients, high quality clients, grow your following, and create real transformation for those people. So excited about this training because the women who are coming together for it from all around the world, we're creating this movement of
Yes.
transformational, holistic mentors who are making a big difference. And as we know, we need it right now so deeply. So Siddiqui has a special link for you all. She'll put it in the
Yeah,
comments
I'll
down
put it in the
below
comments. Yeah,
so
yeah.
that you can go ahead and join this training. It's free. It's just an hour a day. There are replays, and I'm going to teach you what's working in 2022 so that you can keep up with this rapidly changing online world. And it's all done from a perspective of what's working for transformational and holistic mentors. So we're really excited about this training.
I love that because one of the common objections I hear when I have women that are transformational leaders and business owners come across my door is I'm so used to doing hands-on, one-on-one, face-to-face, and because of the past 2 years they haven't been able to do that. And the real challenge is creating a container for that transformation to still take place without putting your hands on someone, without
So
being face
true.
to face with someone. And if you're listening to this and you fit this demographic of you're a woman, you're a transformational leader, you do transformational work, energy work, you're a spiritual leader, this is so important because I often find, Elizabeth, that so many of us can just go out to that spiritual realm, the 5D realm, and that business actually happens in the 3D realm.
Yeah.
Business actually happens online, and we have to learn how to translate all that amazing magical transformation that we are able to do with people. We have to focus it into a business so that people can find us, so that
Yes.
we can do that transformational work with them. And I'm so glad to know that you're out there giving structure to a very, very large part of the demographic that I work with is women transformational leaders that have this woo, they're unicorns, and they really need the structure to bring it to more people. So I love
So true.
this.
Yeah. That's why we're
So
such
you
great
start,
collaborators.
yeah, you start tomorrow at what time?
12 p.m. Pacific time, and there are replays up. So if anybody joins, they'll be added to the place where they can find all the replays, depending on what time zone you're all in. And it's going to be a really actionable training. So next steps will be there for you on day one. You'll all be getting 10 new clients, which will be really fun, and of course, we'll bring you money in. So there are going to be steps for you to take and prizes. Of course, we love to do prizes and have fun, but the biggest thing is that you're going to be growing your businesses. So yeah, 12 to 1 Pacific starts March 21st. And it's really just this movement of women who are ready to lead and make a difference on the planet right now.
Oh, I love it. Hallelujah. And it doesn't take one mentor. It takes a team of mentors to actually get yourself out there and build that
It's true.
transformational online business, right? So I'm so glad that you're doing this work, and I will see if I can make it some of the days. I'm going to
Perfect.
put the link below, especially since it's free. It's just an hour of your time. How many days is it, Elizabeth?
It's a 7-day training, and then we added a bonus as well. So it's going to be everything that they need in order to get their business online and thriving and take it to the next level.
I love it. I would say 7 hours to get 10 new clients is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. So, yay. Well, thank you for taking the time. I'm sure that you're really busy, and I really appreciate the work you're doing in the world. And you're so clear, you're so focused. So, let's just go over those 4 keys just one more time. So, we have show up. The second one is be you. The third one is stay focused. And the fourth one is, I forgot already.
Low hanging fruit. And I
Low
wonder from
hanging
everybody
fruit.
watching, which of those four is the one that you know you need to be held accountable for? Post it in the comments right now. Like, which is the one that you need to take action on? And which one have you been ignoring? Post it in the comments below right now.
I usually ignore the one that I forget. So
The low hanging
that
fruit
one's
right
on
in
me,
front of
the low
us.
hanging fruit, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you for the work that you're doing in the world and all
Aw,
these amazing transformational leaders and business owners that you are supporting. Elizabeth Ocean, aka Elizabeth Beads.
thank you,
Um,
Siddiqui. You are
yeah.
incredible. You're such a stand for women unmuting themselves. Your movement
Mhm.
is powerful, and I appreciate you taking time
Appreciate you
to
too.
chat with me today and bring me into your community.
Oh, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth
Aw,
it for these women to hear this message and to get this specific kind of support. So thank you. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. And again, the link to Elizabeth's event starting tomorrow will be below in the first comment. Please go check it out. Go check it out. You won't be sorry. 7 hours to get 10 clients. That's what I'm saying. That's my interpretation of it. So, if you want to really thrive in this online marketplace, you need tools and you can get them for free. Mwah,
Thanks,
mwah.
Siddiqui.
Thank you for joining us.